computer setup, but this is Sip and Smoke, where we smoke fine cigars. Today we have this beautiful Alec and Bradley double broadleaf that's been in my humidor, I want to say now for just over a month. And man, it looks really good. I mean, the color on it is just superb. Superb. I didn't have this really planned. I didn't intend really to go live today, but what else am I going to do on a beautiful day? I mean, I'm about to start a workout regimen soon. The beer we're having this with is Modelo Especial. Nothing really super fantastic about Modelo, just your average beer. But sometimes we drink the average beer. It doesn't always have to be fancy IPA that I always have. So you can have your favorite cigar or a good cigar like this with a normal average beer. There's nothing wrong with that. As you see, I'm outside here. It is nice in Chicago. It feels good to be outdoors and be able to smoke. So I'm stoked on that. We're not going to have a ton of MMA discussion. I'm actually on a gambling hiatus. Let me get this going here in terms of getting this onto this makeshift tripod that I did. And we'll see where I'm at here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on, baby. All right. Whoa. Go back. All right. There we go. There we are, folks. How's everyone doing out there? Watch check. It's the Seiko SNK. You guys have seen this quite a bit before. Nice, beautiful silver dial. Exhibition case back, as you see, with the butterfly clasp that I put it on. I put it on these suede Strapco straps that are like $15 a piece. Nice, beautiful suede. They get really dirty. I don't know what I'm going to do in terms about the cleaning of this. I think I'm going to buy some form of a suede cleaning solution or just buy another one, you know, when they're getting dirty. But they do get dirty very easily. They pick up dirt, but lovely watch as always. And I believe, again, this was under $100 for this watch. And a lot of people think that Seiko watches won't appreciate. And I sort of disagree. I wouldn't say that they're going to appreciate, but they're not going to depreciate very much. I think this will, especially once it's no longer in circulation or production, which eventually this will be, I think that this watch will hold that value. If you keep it in really good condition, you'll still be able to get just around $100, at least $70 for this watch. In my opinion, I think it's just going to be able to retain value. It's not going to drop in value. It's not going to appreciate. It's not going to end up being $200, but you'll always be able to, get. But for the price, as I mentioned before, with a lot of these watches, I just get them to have them. They are little small fashion pieces. I know Joey and other people don't like watches. I see some young people getting back into the watch phase, and I would disagree that the young youth don't like watches, because what I've noticed is on their Android as well as their Apple Watches, they're putting on different cases. They have different digital displays that look like watches or that emulate other watches. So I think that people still do appreciate watches. Men and women still appreciate watches. But I'm actually absolutely addicted to it. If I had the expendable cash, I think I would spend a lot more money on watches, because I think that there is a whole multitude, a whole million of affordable watches that you could purchase now that are mechanical. They're beautiful. They're great fashion pieces, and they're very inexpensive. You don't have to spend a lot of money to get into the watch market. If anyone's out there, let me know that if I do have sound, I won't be able to sound check it. Let me tap the mic and tap it again to put it on. Watch collecting is a lot of fun. I wear all my watches. I have something over 20 watches now. I have a lot of watches. And there's a time and an occasion for all of them. And I think what's most important, not necessarily about the value, because I haven't picked the value of my watches. I like the watches. I like them. People don't notice them that often. Sometimes they don't notice them. I don't get compliments on them. Sometimes I do. But I feel they compliment what I wear, how I, it does say something about yourself. I think that even this watch, the Seiko, even though it's an inexpensive watch, if another person that is familiar with watches, I think, sees me with it, and if they're a sort of a watch enthusiast, that they would know, like, hey, that guy knows about his watches, and he has a sense of, of refinement, something that he enjoys, something that he might know about even other luxury items and luxury watches, and might have other types of knowledge, right? Depending on the watch you wear, maybe you're an aviator, maybe you're somebody that's is into aeronautics, maybe you're into a navigator, into sailing, maybe you're into scuba, maybe you're a tactical guy. I saw a guy with a watch the other day where he obviously was Mr. Tactical Cool. He had all the, he had a field watch that had great illumination on it. I forget what brand it was. I did notice the brand. It was a high end watch, but the guy was Mr. Tactical Cool. He was an older guy like myself. I could tell that he wanted to be a special forces guy or something like that. But you could tell that you could speak. It tells a story. It tells a little bit about you. Sort of just like the cigars that you smoke and the cigars that you might enjoy. Like, I can enjoy this double broadleaf. I could enjoy this Habano. I'm not certain. I'm going to again guess that this is a Nicaraguan blend. Alec and Bradley is based out of Nicaragua. Most of their tobaccos are assembled there, but as I mentioned before, they can be sourcing tobacco from a multitude of locations. And right out the gate, I love this band. Another beautiful band. The colorway is fantastic. I love that little AB touch right there on that part of the band, which is just sick, right? Just very nice detail, beautiful sort of traditional looking band. The stuff that Alec and Bradley is doing is just out of the world. Drew Estates, but mainly Alec and Bradley is just knocking it out of the ballpark with all their product. I regret touching this cigar so much because when I pulled it out of my little tubador, my humidor, it had so much oil on it. It had a very nice oily plume on it. It still has that. Really beautiful. Let me get closer to the camera here, guys, so that you could hear me. I don't know if you can hear me because I don't know if I have sound. Real News is Hope's all as well. So yo, oil all over the face. Real news, what'd you do to me, brother? We were chasing. I lost that lunch. I got oil all over my face. Do I have sound? Man, I got oil all over my face, Real News. You did us in, buddy. I tailed you and ended up having to give like Fogo de Chao. I got Fogo de Chao face all over my face. Horrible. Oil all over the face. What's up, Joey? Can you guys hear me? I could barely see. I have my phone in a bad spot. This awkward. I don't have my computer out here, so I have to use the phone. Hopefully you guys are seeing it, everything well. Everything's coming through okay. But yeah, oil in the face. The Oilers, man. It sucks. During this playoff, I think I won one hockey bet. Did I win one? Yeah, one hockey bet. Right, like during this whole playoffs, I'm on a breaking hiatus, guys. I am still the bout better. I am going to bet. I'm going to be returning, but in 5 days, I'm going to not bet any events. Not betting this next event, and thankfully, I'm not because it's a shit card. There's nothing there. I'm not tempted by Angela Hill to chase Angela Hill by Dern. Who else am I going to chase on this card, guys? Who else would you guys bet on this card? I didn't bet at all. Modelo. Guys, you have confirmed that I do have sound, right? I have sound. Real News, I can't read too much there. All I know, man, is I'm on what do they call it when you're on a losing streak? When you're on a losing streak? I'm on a losing streak, so I got to take a break. I'm taking a break. I got a vacation coming up in about 2 months, and in 5 days, you will not be seeing even Sip and Smoke. I won't be drinking any beer. I'm gonna be completely sober, no beer. Maybe I'll still do a beer for Sip and Smoke. We'll see. I'm thinking not. Maybe those will be my cheat days, like when I'm cheating on my my workout. Will be on the days I do Sip and Smoke. But we'll see. Right now, the plan is really just going to find food, or at least organic food, minimal carbs, extreme weight loss, uh, stamina built up, right? I wouldn't mind after a month, maybe I might even do some TRT. I'm going to find out if that's covered by my health savings account, which I have, which is called an HSA. Guys, remember I talked about my HSA and I was able to purchase my glasses, which an HSA, you know what I think I'm going to do as well with my HSA to take them on my vacation is I'm going to buy some prescription sunglasses. And I'm going to hopefully purchase that through my HSA as well. And hopefully they're covered. And I think they would be. So I'm going to go back to Lens Crafters. I just went to Lens Crafters and get possibly some prescription sunglasses so that I just have take care of those, and it's just a good idea to have, right? Like I don't really need them per se, but it's a good investment. Like I think thanks Brian. I mentioned to Brian like, okay guys, here's I know that a lot of people don't like 401ks because of the risk, right? There's a risk that the market tanks and you lose a great portion of what you saved or what you put into your 401k. But if you have a stable market or a market that is just growing slightly or just stable, that money is like a tax-free savings account. And what I was able to do, which I don't like doing, but I was just cash poor. I didn't have any cash on hand, and I wasn't. Right now, we're not getting the overtime at work that I'm accustomed to, and I'm going on this vacation. There was no way for me really to make the income I needed to make certain that I got a new surfboard, which is in that $1,000 range, and that I was going to be able to cover the costs of the 10 days that I want to be in Indonesia. So what I did, I quietly within 1 year had put over $10,000 in this particular 401k. I have other 401ks that I had with other companies that are just sitting there that I just don't contribute to those. They just sit there, and in fact, one of them I'm going to be able to cash out here in 2 years. So I have these other 401ks. I didn't like consolidate them, but I have these other 401ks out from other employers. But in this particular one, in my current state, I was able to save up over like 10 grand. And what I did was I took out a small loan to cover my vacation. I took a loan out against my own money, which is there, it's collateral at 8%, which isn't bad. And then I'm going to pay it back within 1 year, right? So I'm going to be contributing more to that 401k because I'm covering the 2K loan to pay myself back at 8% with 8% interest, right? So they're going to get some money, but I'm going to be able to buy my surfboard, purchase my lodging, and not have to pull friggin' 10 doubles, 16-hour shifts, and depend on overtime in order to make that happen. I'm fortunate that I had that money there and I'm able to utilize it tax-free, right? Tax-free, again, big tax-free, like tax savings, man. All these people, I wish I had done more of it when I was your guys' age, just younger, but so I'm getting ready. And thus the sobriety as well as the extreme workout, I'm going to look completely different. You won't recognize me. You don't recognize me. I got about 30 pounds I got to lose, and then I just have to develop the stamina to paddle, so that I can actually be in the water for like 8 hours a day, right? 10 days straight, maybe even longer. That's the goal, and that's what I used to be able to do, and that's what is going to be my goal, right? Like that's my physical goal, and a lot of that really entails a lot of swimming, some light weightlifting, but a lot of I wouldn't say like I'm playing touch butt, but I'm doing a lot of movement and a lot of cardio. Just a lot of bicycle riding, cycle riding, rowing. I get on the rowing machine for about 40 minutes, do 40 minutes or even an hour of just rowing. I'll do some paddling. I'll go grab my short board, not my long board, my short board, which is tough to paddle, and I'll go into the lake and I'll just paddle that out. I'll just paddle with that sucker and go paddling and do like 2 hours of paddling with my short board. And in fact, I got to bring out the short board and take that wax off. Right now would have been a good time to do that shit. It's super sunny and nice here. It's a good time to get rid of that wax. When I go and get a beer, I'm probably going to go and do that. I'll bring and show you my surfboard that's way too small for me. I still caught waves on it, and I can. It just has to be in a particular context and a certain strength of wave, certain size of wave, and then I got to be in shape. So uh, that's really, you guys are hearing a lot about me, but you guys could do this shit too. Like, don't be afraid to spend time to learn something new, to go and learn how to surf, to get on your bicycle, go bike riding. I know today we're just drinking. I'm day drinking. I have a plan, guys. I've already done a lot of things you guys have done. All right, I've already done the hiking up of Mount Shasta. Right, I'm not gone to fucking Nepal or something like that, but I've already done a lot of little things that that you guys should be doing. I'm an old man. I'm still going to do them again, but do as I say, not as I do right now. In fact, do as I do too, right? Because we're going to get on this workout regimen. I will go live with you at a certain point, and you could see, like, I'm not just going to be lifting weights, because weights don't hit back, Joey. Weights don't do anything. The strength without real application, without athleticism, without of something to vent it through. If you're not skateboarding with it, if you're not like using it for jujitsu or martial arts, or you're not playing basketball, or you're not dancing or doing gymnastics, right? Like, what's the point of having the muscles? You could just lift weights. That's all you could do is lift weight. Go and lift that. I could fucking lift that fucking shit. Most things I need to lift, even big guys can't lift it. Can't even put their hands on it. Can't even put their hands around it like a refrigerator. Look at Joey's buddy, fucking Joey Stacks. Fucking breaks the refrigerator. Can't even fucking lift the refrigerator because they're so fucking big, so uncoordinated. Like, it's pointless to have that muscle if you're not utilizing it. And it doesn't always look that good. Right? So we'll see. I'm going to show you guys. You guys will see. And you don't have to see. Actually, you will, because I'm going to actually, with some of the money, I might actually get a GoPro. We're going to put on some waves. I'm going to be doing some live sessions, maybe from Indonesia. We'll see. I'm going to also be in Japan and in Thailand. So I'm excited for all of that. I got 2 months here to prepare and get ready for it. Joey's saying he's going surfing. Yeah, man, all the power to you. Use that muscle, man. Use your youth and body. You're not going to become like a great surfer, but you could definitely do it. Like, if you have the physical ability, and then you have to learn like the whole water competence, right? You could definitely do it. So that's what's happening. I encourage you guys, pick up a new hobby. Pick up, street hockey. Play some hockey, like real news, right? Try to skateboard. Ride your bike, right? Like, just don't lift weights, right? Like, there's more to being healthy than lifting weights. And in fact, I would argue that lifting weights could be one of the more unhealthy things that you could do to your body, that it taxes your body for unnecessary reasons if you're not doing other things like swimming or climbing, or skiing or snowboarding. If you're not using that physical development for a purpose, what's the point? If you're just doing it to lift weights and to get size, man, whatever. I think that's a waste. I think the purpose of like lifting weights is performance, is not just, it's to garner strength to aid in your performance in other endeavors. Whether that's volleyball, whether it's swimming, I don't care if it's fucking disc golf, like the frisbee golf game. It has to have a purpose. Weights don't hit back. Weights don't do shit. Lifting weights is like lifting this lighter. I'm lifting a weight. If you can't fix anything, if you can't make something out of it, you can't enjoy yourself from that lifting, then it's completely purposeless. Look at some of these fighters, like some of the biggest fighters. I'm sure they do powerlifting and weightlifting, but it's not a priority. It's important, but it's the skills are really what is more important. Like, does Nate Diaz, is he cut up motherfucker? He'll beat the shit out of most people. He doesn't have those big muscles. Like, look at John Jones. Like, he is doing some weightlifting and increased his power, but he did powerlifting for a purpose. He didn't do it just to gain mass. He really approached it in a way that he understood. He was basically weightlifting for MMA. Like, he was gaining power and gaining weight for MMA in a particular way. You know, there's Henry Cejudo and Aljo. Aljo lifts weights, but you know, you don't see him like pumping tons of iron. Look at Israel Adesanya. You think Izzy's all cut up? Izzy lifts weights, but he's not fucking powerlifting. He's not fucking benching 500 pounds. You know, a lot of people could probably bench more than crap out of you. He'll fucking smoke you in fucking a moment. Floyd Mayweather. How much weights do you think Floyd Mayweather fucking does? Right? Look at your hockey players. Who's your, you know, Savannah Jad. How much weights does that guy fucking lift? Ovechkin. How much weight does that Ovechkin fucking lift, even though he's a big dude? He does some, but it's all done with a purpose. I forgot how hard it is, or harder, to light these cigars outdoors. And in fact, I think most boxers don't lift a lot of weights at all. And same with basketball players. They need their muscles to be quick. They need that speed. They need that twitch, right? Like, look at talking about weightlifting and ruining their careers. Look at Tiger Woods. Like, Tiger Woods got on that crazy weightlifting, almost like Navy SEAL kind of training. Lots of earth, man. Strong earth cream. Cigar smoker cigar. Love the richness of it. Talk about suede. It has a suede-ish leather to it. Not really suede, more a real cowhide. Like this is farm. Or jungle, I'm sorry, not farm, but jungle. Jungle tobacco. I don't know what you put there, Jojo. Let me look what you. Let me see if I can read this here. Senor Mole is subscribed. Juice Dustin T is subscribed. I can't really read it. Yeah, I mean, weightlifting has changed, and a lot of these guys definitely are more athletic nowadays than they were in the past, because I think they realize, like, just weightlifting to look good isn't really worth it. What does it say? I cannot read how small this is, Adrian. I couldn't read that, guys. Really hard to read this thing on the phone. The comments actually also disappear, so I apologize if I can't address anything that you're saying, but so when I'm saying I'm going to be going on a physical regimen or workout regimen, a lot of it isn't always with weights. I'll use the weights, but I'll stand like on one of those balance balls. I'll do some stepping, right? I'll do a lot of things that are going to, some burpees, push-ups, things that are going to help me with my surfing, right? It's surfing specific. It is specific for a function, right? And even the weightlifting, yes, I'm going to need some strength, but I don't need a lot of it. In fact, I don't need much of it at all, right? I just need to lose the fat and as I'm losing some fat, and I'll use the weights in an more of an aerobic manner, right? I'll do like some, not a cross training, but a rapid circuit training, like where we'll do small, like a lot of small weights, a lot of reps, right? Quickly, like 1 minute on this machine, go to the next machine, do 5 push-ups, go to the next machine, fucking pump out over there, go to the next machine, and do like a little circuit, like a 5 or 6 different machines and 6 different exercises, and do it as quickly as possible. Like, so there's some cardio, take a minute or two rest in between, or 3 minutes rest, and then do it again. Right? I can't read this shit, guys. But I appreciate that, Aiden S. I'm not certain what you're saying there, brother. I can't read it on my shirt here. UFC should have something. I can't read it. I apologize, guys. It's going to be a tough stream. It might be a one direction stream where I'm just talking. And I really wish I could interact with you guys more. That's the whole point of streaming. But, the way this phone has it, I didn't have the computer set up outside here. So if I were different, the comments are showing up right here, and they're showing up in white. So I can't read it. It's actually blending into the shirt, which is not good. Mm. Wow. I love a cigar like this, man. It reminds me of the old country. I feel like I'm in back in Nicaragua. I've been in Nicaragua, El Salvador. I could be out in the mountains on the ranges. Oh, Vietnam's such a beautiful place, and it had so much mountains. Like when I was thinking of Vietnam, I never thought of mountains. I was just thinking like some flat jungle, almost like El Salvador and these other countries. But no, it's mountainous. Beautiful mountains there in Vietnam. Definitely have to go and visit there because, of course, they have great food and great people. I've heard that there's very friendly, great people there. Just like when I mentioned people like when I went to Guatemala in Central America, yes, people in Costa Rica are very friendly too. In Mexico, they are as well. But the Guatemalan people, I know there's tons of violence there, and they get a bad reputation because of the violence that they're in, the corruption. But man, those people are such nice people. The nicest people in Latin America I met were in Guatemala. That were just so friendly, so just happy, right? It's just a shame that they get taken advantage of, the Guatemalans, from Mexicans and the people here, and then in their government is crap. So you guys have any workout suggestions or game plans or ideas? Um, I'll do it, man. I'll do it because one thing I found with me, which is fun, is that I change my workout all the time. Most people, from what I've known, most people that work out, they do the same shit all the time. They've been doing it for years. It's worked for them, so they never change anything. They really do any exercises or things that they're not accustomed to, that they haven't done before. I'm the opposite. I'll be like, oh, there's a new machine. What is this machine? Let me do let me work on that thing. You know what I mean? Or if somebody learned, like incorporated weights with yoga, if you want to holding a kettlebell, right, for a moment, or working a kettlebell in a certain way. Adrian B says, oh man, Henry versus Marab, Boston will be a great fight. Who do you got? Between Henry and Marab, you got to go Marab. Like, I don't understand why people thought that Aljo, it was a split decision. I think, was it a majority decision or split decision? I I thought Sterling dominated that bout. I thought Sterling, that Cejudo just didn't do enough damage, enough control, and he didn't listen to himself. He didn't he got caught. Like what he was telling John Jones is, don't stay in these certain positions, and I would say that for both the striking and the grappling. He made no transitions. Like he made no changes, in fight transitions or in fight changes to his game plan, which he's the best at, right? Maybe with Merab he comes in with a better game plan, but We'll see if Henry's even got that bite. Maybe Henry doesn't want to have that drive to. I mean, he should. If I were Henry, I would have stayed retired. Right? He didn't have to come back unless there was some money there. He's coaching. He was a Triple C, 2 division champion. Went out with the belt. Now you're back struggling again. Now you're fighting number 2 guy, number 3 guy, not for a belt. The best thing that could happen for Henry is he could fight Marab, which is smart to eliminate Marab from getting the shot if Aljo loses to Sterling. I mean to O'Malley, right? What does he put there? What do you think of Francis and PFL? Francis dropped the bag, man. I talked about this before. Francis overvalued himself. Francis was not a draw. He was not a household figure. He was getting paid more money than he deserved in the UFC, right? And the PFL is not going to be a guarantee for him. We've seen time and time again these UFC fighters go to the PFL and get mollywopped, right? It's not a guarantee that you're going to win that. Even in the heavyweight division, they got a couple heavyweights there that have ground games, that can grapple and that can have power. So I think it was a big mistake for Ngannou to leave without having that other plan B solved or plan B solidified, right? He didn't have plan B solidified, so he fucked up. Francis is not a draw. He's not a sell. He is a specimen of a human being, but the guy's an idiot. Like, I think he messed up by, insulting Dana, insulting the UFC, biting the hand that feeds him, crossing the boss. He crossed the boss. He fucked up. And he went to other places and he tried to play the boss at them. He's trying to strong arm Ryzen / one championship. Are you kidding me? They offered him $50 million. Take the bag. Take that $50 million. Say thank you. Please, who do I fight? Because they don't have a heavyweight there. That would have been his best bet. That could even touch him. He would have been easily champion there for at least 3, just grabbing money. Take the money and run. 50 million, and then maybe go to the PFL or come back to the UFC or go to Bellator, right, for that challenge. But now he's in a corner. He's forced to take what is out there now because he's already passed up. And that's ourselves, like you guys that are younger. Ben Rothwell wants to fight Francis in PFL. Yeah, Ben Rothwell should fight Francis in bare knuckle. Like, that's what Ben Rothwell should do. Strong earth, leather, little nice, different kind of creaminess, guys, at the very end of it. Beautiful richness, like a chocolate mousse. Smokes almost like a Maduro. Strong oils, great aromas. I already smoked this before, guys. You guys know that this is one of my favorite cigars here. I love this double broadleaf. Has all the attributes of old country, traditional cigar making, even though it's one of their experimental series. Right, just a fabulous smoke. Well rolled. Look at that. Nice compact ash. Let me go get another beer and my surfboard. Oh, yep. All right, guys. So this is the surfboard here. Unfortunately, this is too small for me. I'm much heavier and bigger than what I should have this here. I always thought this was a 6'6". This is actually a 6'4". Right, you see the dimensions there, 6'4" future setup. I have caught waves with this small board before. It's a short board. I can longboard. I could ride anything. But it's old. It was cracked once in half. I'm still going to take this to Indonesia with me. As sort of like maybe I'll still be able to catch some waves with it with a new board that I'm going to buy. I might buy the updated version of this in a 6'10". Right? I like my round pintails. I love rounded pins. It duck dives really well. I could get under waves pretty easily. So yeah, that's the board. Let me grab the leash off. Yeah, I need a definitely new board. Yeah, Rio. Yeah, so the board's a 6'4" Firewire, and I might buy the 6'10" version of it, 2023. 6'10" version is probably what I should have, or a 7'0" Surf Tech. Surf Tech makes these really strong boards. Channel Islands 6'10" thruster. I might buy that one if it's still available on sale. Then I'm going to get that. But I'm going to definitely leash, comp leash, hold the board in, straps your ankles here. Got to clean this thing too. Got to get a couple more leashes, even some spare fins, some more fins. Get all ready. Hey, Darren Till does not want any of that smoke. He doesn't want that spa. You don't want to go to that spa. He definitely doesn't want to go to the spa with Mike Perry. Mike Perry is in his element. Mike Perry has found his zone, and that is BKFC. He is the king of BKFC because that's what he likes to do. Brawl, street brawler, knuckles, no gloves, no takedowns, no wrestling. He found his where he should be, and I don't think anybody's going to dethrone him. He beat Michael Venom Page because Page couldn't use his kicks, right? Like it shows, like Perry is a beast in there. BKFC, yeah, he's barely scraped his victories, but he beat the living shit out of everybody that he's faced, including Page. Yeah, he takes damage, but the guy's just a monster. So I think that Perry defeats Till all day, and Till does not want that smoke. Till does not want to come to beat BKFC, and he's just going to get lit up. I think Till's boxing is not that good. Doesn't have the finishing ability. He doesn't have that experience now in bare knuckle. That the only guy would beat uh, Perry is that other black dude. What's his name? The lightweight, or is it the middleweight? The other champion. That's the only dude that's going to beat him. That's going to be a great fight when it does happen, because it is going to happen, I think. Forget his name, but he's the other BKFC champion. That guy is about that life. That sport is specific to particular boxers, and I think people like Eddie Alvarez, for example, is going to thrive in that sport as well. Like, even though he has great ground game, Alvarez likes to stand and bang. Somebody like Conor McGregor would do great in bare knuckle. That's why he's there, and he loves it. And I like what BKFC is doing with UFC guys. They're promoting them and putting them in the front, uh, in the forefront, a lot better than Bellator did. Like, they are getting the promotion, they're getting the push, and they're doing well in it, right? Like, whereas when they go to Bellator or they go to PFL, a lot of the UFC guys falter. They just don't do very well. They don't push them in the same way, and they don't perform like they should. And I think basically that is going to happen to a lot of other fighters. Not Perry. Perry's legit, man. He's finally getting the push that he deserves. The BKFC is making him the face of BKFC, even more than their champions, because Perry sells. Perry's a draw. People like him. He's a fan favorite. He's got that momentum again right now. He's got that. He's good on social media. He's a funny guy. He promotes the fights very well. He's a fighter's fighter, and once he gets into the square circle, the guy puts down. He throws down and comes through. So he's a draw. I think they're doing great things with him. Ray-Bans. Sunglasses, guys. Summer. Ray-Bans are great. I think Maui Jims are my favorite. Very expensive. Maui Jims or Bolets and Oakleys all makes great sunglasses. Yeah, I've got some cheapo sunglasses that I've had, but I've gone through those. You spend $20 on these cheap sunglasses that have the UV protection. Next thing you know, the coating goes away, or they get scratched very easily. Whereas if you buy these Ray-Bans and Bolets, or even your Maui Jims, and you try not to scratch them, right, like severely, they do have a little scratch resistance to them. They just seem to last longer, have better protection, more clarity. Like, you could see them through them a lot clearer than other sunglasses. So I highly recommend spending, if you're going to be traveling and you're going to a place like Indonesia, you're going to Philippines, you're going to someplace, don't worry about, yes, buy the cheap sunglasses, but also if you're going to be, it's okay to buy some decent sunglasses. Take care of them, have a good case for them, be mindful of them. Don't go swimming in the ocean with them, right? Like, if you're on a boat, like, mind where you're at on the boat, like, with your sunglasses. Maybe that's an instance where you put your cheapies on and you leave your Ray-Bans like in your bag or something. Like, just take care of them. Be mindful of what situation you're going to be in, that you could possibly lose them. I remember a long time ago, I had some great Smith sunglasses, and I was in Mexico and I was fishing, and I went down, I bent my head down to grab this halibut, right, that I was pulling into shallower water, and it was still shallow water. And what you don't realize, that even in shallow water, there's current. And so I see the glasses drop, and before I could even go to grab them, they just drift away from me. I just saw them, like, $150 pair of sunglasses just drift away, just in the current, undercurrent. And I'm like, oh shit, there was nothing I could have done other than like lose my fishing pole. And I could have grabbed them, but it was funny to see just in like 2 feet of water, these sunglasses just and just like go out faster than I could have grabbed them. You know, I would have had to like potentially lose my fishing pole because I had the fish on the line. So I had to make a decision. Well, am I going to keep this fish, or am I going to keep, in my pole, or am I going to lose my sunglasses? And I just realized like, I can't drop the fishing pole. I got to pull the line in. And I just saw the sunglasses just drift out in the current, out into the water. Like, oh, somebody's going to find them, have some good sunglasses is all I could really say. So next time when I'm fishing, I'm putting on the cheapies, right? I'm not going to put on the Ray-Bans. The Ray-Bans are when you're walking through town, right? You're walking someplace, you're at a special event, or that's when you put out the nice sunglasses. It's good to have them at all times because they're better for you, right? And when you're chilling, watching the waves, put on the Ray-Bans. Put on your nice sunglasses then when you're just chilling out, right? But when you go to the water, or you go in the mountains, you go hiking, it's the time to bring out the cheapies. Leave the expensive sunglasses behind, even though they're better purpose and more suited for when you're doing the hiking. You don't want to scratch them. You don't want to drop them someplace on the trail. You don't want to get them all scratched up from the trees, or if they hit some rocks when you're climbing or something. Bring one pair of good sunglasses and two bad ones, or two cheaper, like $20 UV protection sunglasses. Bring 3 sets. I'm bringing 3 sunglasses. People are like, why are you bringing 3 sunglasses? Well, just in case I lose some. What does that say there? Cron Gracie. Know, well, you know what was Cron? I was surprised to see Cron perform that way, because you didn't see, he was just outclassed on the feet, and Jourdain is a black belt himself, right? Like, I thought that Cron's MMA jiu-jitsu would be better, and that Jourdain was not the striking partner, not the dance partner. He was very well mismatched. The UFC, he doesn't like the UFC, and the UFC doesn't like the Gracies. Why he took that fight is beyond me. What I think it is the managers are afraid to tell their fighters, like, don't take that fight. That's not a guy you want to fight. They don't want to hear that. If I was Cron's Gracie's manager, I'd be like, no, not this guy, bro. Not this guy. I'll tell Cron straight up, like, he's going to eat you up on the feet, and your jiu-jitsu, just like what happened in your jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu might not be as effective against him as you think. We're not taking this guy. We're taking somebody else. We're taking another jiu-jitsu practitioner, or we're taking a guy that's a wrestler that doesn't have great takedown defense, that doesn't have, excellent, like, over-the-top speed and striking. I don't think Cron sucks. I think Cron's getting a bad rap because he's not adjusted. You cannot use the 90s, approach to MMA in 2023. Right? It just doesn't work anymore. You cannot be one-dimensional, and you cannot depend. Look at Ilia Topuria versus the Wizard, right? Like, Topuria knocked that fool out. Like, you're going to go on your back. You're going to stand on your back. Guess what? I'm going to go in there and knock you. I'm going to go in there and come down there with you because I got jiu-jitsu, and I'm not afraid of your jiu-jitsu, and I'm going to pound you, right? And he got knocked out. You just cannot. You have to have a mixed approach, even as a grappler coming in, or primary jiu-jitsu practitioner. And this is one thing that I definitely despise. These people saying that jiu-jitsu is the worst base for MMA, you're absolutely still wrong. It is still a fantastic base. It's still one of the best bases for self-defense. It's fantastic art for women and men, right? Like, there are times that it's going to be important that people are going to come to the ground with you. And when they don't have that ground awareness, Jourdain has that ground awareness. He has counter jiu-jitsu. Most people in the world don't have that. Even a lot of fighters don't have that. A lot of fighters this weekend don't have it. Michael Johnson is on this card. A bunch of other people are on this card where Angela Hill doesn't have it, right? Like if she gets taken down by Mackenzie Dern starts to move and transition well, Hill's going to be out of her league. Kevin Lee, Tony Ferguson rematch. I think that's smart. Kevin Lee's manager as well as Tony Ferguson's manager. That's the yes. That's where a lot of these guys are their own managers. They're their own worst enemies. When a fight like that is proposed to them, that's a yes. That's a like, hey, I'm fighting a guy. He's not elite. He's not at the top level anymore. I'm not at the top level anymore. I think that most of these fighters are surrounded by a ton, just like people that are by yes men, by people that are gonna like just blow smoke on them. Like, yeah, you could do this. You could fight anybody. You beat anybody. It's like, no, dude, that's not a good matchup for us. Remember in Rocky when Ernest Borgnine, not Ernest Borgnine, but the gentleman said like, not this guy, Rock, don't do it. He was giving him the best advice he needed at that time against Mr. T's character. Right? Like, he didn't want that monster, not this guy. This guy's going to eat you alive, and he told him. He didn't listen to his manager. But Kron Gracie his jiu-jitsu still fantastic. I shouldn't have asked that, but when I did martial arts, I mean, because I grew up wrestling, so I did very little jiu-jitsu. Um, I did more kickboxing and more wushu, guigong, kung fu, more than anything. Because I just love kung fu. Like I liked it. I grew up with fucking kung fu movies, watching kung fu movies. I wanted to do kung fu. I didn't really care about the whole self-defense aspect of it. I just wanted to fucking do kung fu. I love the meditation aspect of it, the breathing aspect of it, as well as the self-defense. But there was a lot more that I gained, the flexibility. And then I transitioned over to Muay Thai, and I did more Muay Thai. And the Kung Fu helped me when I was doing Muay Thai because, I had some kicks already. I was already flexible at that time. So I enjoyed it. And I already had a wrestling base, and there was MMA. But I was just working out for self-defense. And I was able to use it. Like, you came at me, you get kicked. I wasn't worried about anyone. I wasn't worried. I would, walk around with confidence. And I think, and I have the other great thing about it is that I had it just like when I say with kids that have a temper or bad temper, it taught me that other people can kick your ass. Other girls, even smaller guys, if they're trained and they have skills, they will beat the living shit out of you. So it humbled me when I got into Thai boxing, martial arts, into even kung fu. It humbled me because I always thought I was a tough guy. And then I realized, like, well, I'm tough, but I'm not that smart and I'm not that good. Like, I'm not really that tough. I'm not that skilled. And I built up the skills. And when you have the skills, you didn't like I don't even want to use them. It would be great when people would try to like start shit with me, and I'd be like, it's okay, man. I'm sorry. Yeah, go on ahead. Call me a bitch. Go on ahead. No problem. No problem. You ain't stepping over here. No problem. Go on ahead. Yell at me. But if I wasn't drunk, I'd be like, anyone can come and get it. And you wouldn't attack anybody. You wouldn't have that attitude. My attitude changed when you practice. And I see that now with mixed martial arts practitioners and jiu-jitsu practitioners. They have a humbleness to them and a respect through the martial arts. And I think that a lot of other disciplines don't have that, right? Wrestling doesn't teach you that. I don't think that boxing teaches you that. I think that jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, karate, kung fu, and even Muay Thai have that traditional martial arts where it isn't just about the physical. There's a mental aspect to it, a certain level of respect and discipline that that comes with it that helps you just in your life in general. Like when I was practicing martial arts a long time ago, I was in the best shape of my life, but I was also in the best mental state in my life. I didn't drink as much. I was still partying, but I didn't drink as, I shouldn't say that. I just wasn't as wild and crazy as I once was. It humbled me. It humbled me. And I think that it still can do that for people. So people that abandon jujitsu as a base for martial arts are completely off base. Like, it's a great thing to learn, excellent for self-defense, and utilized around the world by plenty of people for combat, all sorts of combat, and just for self-defense. Quran, just with MMA, let's see what it puts here. Yeah, Chase Sherman, yeah, there were some big surprises there. Um, you know, you know, the girl that got submitted, Clark, like there was a lot of hype on her. That's another person like Kron Gracie that you got to develop your. If you're in MMA right now, you can't just depend on one thing, right? Aljo couldn't depend on the jiu-jitsu with Cejudo. Cejudo couldn't depend on his wrestling anymore. Those days are gone. That you have to be. Look at the Paul Craig's going to be fighting this guy in a match, right? You have to be well rounded in MMA at this point, like really well rounded. You could get away. I think the only person that gets away with not being well rounded and still a champ is Israel Adesanya. I think I would argue is Israel Adesanya the least well-rounded champion in the UFC. I would argue that he is. Right? Like, look at the champions, male or female. He has the most minimal skill set because he's a pure striker, right? Where everyone else has, oh, beautiful cardinal, has grappling, counter grappling, and striking in wrestling. Like all the other champions. Look at all the other champions. Oh, well, Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards, but here's where I think Leon Edwards is stronger. Let's see what here it says. He's saying that he hopes Dricus beats Robert and Izzy pulls off an ups. Yeah, I think Dricus made a mistake of taking Whitaker first. Like, that was a mistake on, again, going back to management. Like, why didn't his management hold out and say, no, let's get that Izzy fight. We want that fight. That's the fight we need to make happen. That's the fight that's going to happen, right? Him going against Whitaker is a big mistake because Whitaker is improving, well-rounded, super tough, excellent kickboxer, great fight awareness, great octagon generalship, fucking good cardio. Big mistake for Dricus. He might lose all that juice, all of that, just like the guy that I lost a bunch of, like Gilbert Burns, right? Like, it was a mistake. Bilal is surging, man. Bilal, this is the last time I fucking undersell Bilal. When Bilal gets that Colby fight, I'm betting on Bilal. He's going to be an underdog. I think that Bilal, is made those leaps and bounds. I discussed this before. There's certain fighters like Aljamain Sterling. They've lost before and they've crossed that corner and they've just gotten better since they've, and are well-rounded. Again, Bilal didn't have to wrestle. Didn't even have to counter wrestle. All on the feet. Outpointed, beat the living crap, just mollywopped Burns. Beat him to a pulp, right? What is he saying there? I think Shavkat should fight Bilal. No. Shavkat you don't want to fight Shavkat. Again, going back to management, if I'm Bilal, like, no, just like he said, why are we fighting that guy? I don't want to fight that guy. Don't need to fight him. I'm ahead of him. I'm fighting for the title or nothing. I'm not going back to fight these guys again. No, thank you. No, thank you. You fight Shavkat once you have the title and you lose the title to him, but you don't fight him now. You don't lose all the things that you've built up. Like, I don't know who manages these guys. Who manages some of these fighters? You don't lose that Bilal has already fought through everyone. He deserves a title shot. Don't settle for anything else, brother. Stay your course. Even if you need the money, you don't need to prove anything in Shavkat. Stay your course. Fucking fight the title next. You're next in line. You deserved it. You've earned it. Let's see if Dana gives it to you. Like, the UFC has no mercy, though. Look what they did to Edwards. Look how long it took Edwards and the path that Edwards took to get there. But both Edwards and Izzy, imagine if they actually, like, I think Edwards has better jiu-jitsu and better grappling. Imagine, what is it? Anakin says, Colby has a chance to beat, he has a chance to beat Edwards. I don't think it's going to happen. I think Edwards is going to piece his ass up, right? And Colby's going to be not that, his wrestling is going to be very, very effective, but I don't think he's going to do a lot of damage with his wrestling. I think he's going to have to control him. It's going to be 5 rounds. And as long as the other good thing about, or big thing for Colby is the dude's a cardio machine. He could grapple 5 rounds easily. But can he be effective grappling at those 5 rounds against Edwards, who is going to be a little bit bigger, expecting the takedowns, and going to be hitting him, going to be doing some damage, taxing him, taxing that power meter, taxing that his cardio meter. I think Colby versus Edwards is going to be as good, as exciting, if not more so, than Usman Edwards. I think Colby is going to be there. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight. I really wish. I honestly believe at this point, in my opinion, that Bilal deserves the championship more than Colby. I think that he deserves it more. He should be there for the fight. But what are they going to do? They might do an interim, right? I think they might do an interim with Colby and Bilal, which I hope happens. And I'm on Bilal all day because he's going to be an underdog there too. No more, I believe in you, Bilal. I apologize for betting. I bet with him and bet against him, but I bet against him against Gilbert Burns because I thought Burns was improving and surging. But Bilal just is the past 2 fights has super impressed me. If he could keep that up, he could be champion. But it's not going to be. Hopefully he doesn't have to fight Shavkat. Great cigar, guys. What are you doing over there, Rio? I'm back. Oh, look at that frosty beverage, huh? Looks good in the camera, huh? Summertime, Lopez summer. We're going to have a good summer, guys. We're going to have a good summer. We're going to be working out. We're going to be skating. We're going to be surfing. I look forward to this summer. Right? Like, we're going to see. You're going to see. I'm talking shit now, but you're going to see. Things are going to happen for me. Things are going to, I'm going to change some things up. I'm still going to be working hard, but it's going to be a good summer. We're going to have a lot of fun. Indonesia has been on my bucket list. It's like Hawaii, it's like Valhalla. It is the goal of most surfers to go to a place like Indonesia, and it's Maybe I'll go somewhere else. I might go back to Costa Rica for a short time. I'm excited, guys, for this summer, and I'm, just got to lose a little of this here. Don't necessarily have to. That's what I like about certain sports like surfing and skateboarding. You could be in shape, but as long as you can still have fun. As long as you get to your feet, you stay on your feet, you're good. You can still have a good time and enjoy yourself. Like I think a lot of times, like a lot of guys are stuck in the thinking, oh, that was me when I was younger. That you had to be good in order to participate in something. You don't have to. Same with martial arts. You don't have to be good to participate in it. Just go on and do it. Go on and participate. You want to play ball? Go and play ball. Play. You pick up on some games. Maybe make a good pass here and there. Score a shot. You don't have to be top level anymore. We're beyond that. You don't get paid for doing this stuff. It's all for the fun. It's all for the will and enjoyment, and for part of the physical thing. But a lot of people don't want to learn something new because they're going to suck at it. You're going to be bad at it at first. It takes a little bit of courage to start something new, start a new activity. You're not going to be great at it. You know what? You're going to see, maybe you go bike riding, mountain biking, you see a little kid or a girl go up the hill a little faster than you. That's all right. That's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. Whoa. Everybody starts someplace, right? We all were beginners at a certain point. We all started somewhere, right? So get out there and just start something. I am excited. I'm excited. Right? I've earned it. I've earned it. I put in hours. I put in the work to make something happen, and it's going to happen. Right? I was with one of my friends. I would touch him. He's my age. The dude's in fantastic shape, and he's like, "Well, Berto, it just didn't happen overnight. He works out every day and looks good. Beautiful, beautiful girlfriend, living a good life. But he put in that time. He put in that. I didn't put in that time. Sometimes I take a lot of these down times with cigars and with the beer and sitting around, fucking being online, fucking gambling. There's other things that you could do to try to improve your life, to get better at certain things, and you have to put in that time. Whether it's going to classes, learning a new skill, practicing some art, making things, right? Like rearranging, making some shelves or painting your apartment, whatever it is that you're consuming your activity when you're doing something different that's out of your norm, that's sort of out of your realm of what is typical for you. That motorcycle going. So no motorcycle this year. I was going to get a motorcycle. I'm happy on public transportation somewhat. But yeah, no motorcycle. All the focus is going to be right now is getting to the point where um, I'm going to be comfortable in the water and in the jungle, because we're going to the jungle, baby. And we ain't gonna die. We're going to the jungle, and you got to be strength and have that mental strength that you're going to a different country. You're going to be in an isolated area. You want to have your mental state and your healthy state, your body sort of ready to. If you don't want to get sick, you don't want to get infected with anything. You don't want to tire and cramp up in the water and be get hurt. Because when you get hurt, like when I went to Texas and I hurt my head and I got a little scratch, I had first aid there. I'm able to get help, and I'm able to get back, and there's no problem. But when it was just a little day trip or 2-day trip. But when you're at in Indonesia, in the middle of the jungle, you're gonna get help. There is civilization there, but things could go awry really quickly. Even in Nicaragua or El Salvador, I'm saying, you just want to be. I just need to be healthier, and I'm going to be healthy. So I'm partying today. I'm partying tomorrow. It's the 16th of May here, and then by I have till the 21st. And at the 21st, enjoy. This is what I was saying. Why he's like, why not start now? Well, I'm going to party for 5 days. I'm going to chill out for 5 more days. do whatever I want to do, drink beer, eat food, no more soda once I'm done, drink my soda, bad food, whatever, eat the big pizza and all this other shit. And then come that 21st, that is the day, that is the embarkation. 2 months from that point, I have 60 days to be fight ready, to be surf ready, to be jungle ready. I got to be jungle ready, not fight ready, to be jungle ready. I got to be capable of maximizing my time when I'm there, my water time, my wave count, get my waves, enjoy myself, stay in the water for 8 hours a day, 8 hours a day, just stay in the water. Wake up, fucking crack of dawn, or 5 o'clock, whatever in the morning, surf for 4 hours, have lunch, sunset session, another 4 hours, rinse and repeat. I got to be capable of doing that. I got to be able to do it. And I don't want to get hurt. Like you gotta have your strength up so you don't get hurt that first day or second day you're doing something. You fucking get hurt, you're fucked. There goes your vacation. You're watching people enjoy themselves surf when you're fucking harboring your bad knee or your ankle or your cut here. Cuts won't stop me, but you tear a knee, you break your hurt your ankle, get cut to the point where you need stitches. You can't go in the water. So I got to start it up. Interesting. Best fighter that surfs. Those jiu-jitsu brothers, the Puerto Rican guys. I don't even know if they're Puerto Rican, but they live in Puerto Rico. They surf really good. The Motulo brothers, they're good surfers. Luke Rockhold, hate to say it, not a bad surfer. Not a bad skateboarder either, but not a bad surfer. He might be one of the better surfers out there. You guys know who do you guys think is the best surfing MMA guy? Because a lot of them surf. A lot of them can surf. Luke Rockhold's up there. Luke Rockhold, what does it say here? He was doing kinesiology before things went through and took great towards exercising and nutrition. Nothing to show for it, though. I didn't compete. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you don't compete. You have the knowledge, brother. Like, there's nothing wrong with... Like, I studied philosophy and anthropology, right? Like, I thought I was going to... But here's my point. Like, you did kinesiology. You still have a knowledge base. You could still go become a chef. You could still help an athlete in their training. Or you could still advise somebody that, like myself, like if I needed a trainer or to provide, like, hey, like, you could still make something out of that. You have a knowledge base that I don't have, right? You could say, hey, I'm going to do these online courses with these certain people, or try to find some clients where I'm helping them. Even if you're fat and you have the knowledge, you have a kinesiology degree, you have a kinesiology base. Even if you don't use it for yourself in a physical sense, you can still use it for somebody else in a physical sense, right? Like, you don't have to win a gold medal, right? Like, that's sort of saying, like, oh, all the years that I spent swimming, right? Like, I was a swimming guy and I swam most of my life. Oh, so I didn't swim in college and I didn't go to Olympics, all this other stuff, so it was a waste. No, it wasn't. None of it's waste. I'm able to utilize that nowadays. I was a lifeguard. I saved people's lives with the swimming talent that I have, right? I still need my swimming. What does it say? At surfing, you look at it good way. I have sort of imposter syndrome with things, and also would they find better? I don't know. I couldn't read that quick enough, man, but there is, like, we're not posers, right? Like, and you're not, and when you're trying something, you're not a poser. Like, people that wear the Thrasher shirt as fashion, that's when you're posing. That's when you're fronting, right? Like if I wear, like, some gym's shirt, like if I went and put on, like, a Gracie Barra shirt, or if I went and like put on a 10th Planet uh, jersey, and I never trained there, and I don't train jujitsu. That's posing, right? But when you're doing something, and when you're out there doing it, that's the sports that I participate in are not they're spectator sports, but not really. They're participant sports. Surfing's not a spectator sport. It is by other surfers, but it's a doer sport, right? It's mixed martial arts is a doer sport, right? Kung Fu is a doing sport. Skateboarding, spectating, yeah, you can spectate, but it's a doing sport, right? Like, you're not an imposter if you're not claiming something. There are a lot of claiming in surfing, and in I can't read that here. Israel started to surf, and he lost to Alex in the first round. I don't know. Oh, you mean Israel Adesanya started to surf? Yeah, New Zealand's great surfing area, right? I mean, I wouldn't doubt that Israel Adesanya can surf. Here's my thing is, I bet there's a Brazilian that probably is the best surfer out there that is in mixed martial arts. Although those Matulo brothers, but they're jiu-jitsu guys. A lot of jiu-jitsu guys surf. And a lot of Brazilians surf. A lot of people don't realize that, like, other than soccer and jiu-jitsu, surfing might be more popular in Brazil than probably probably more popular than jiu-jitsu and skateboarding. Brazilians skate like the top skateboarders in the world. Some of the best of the best are Brazilian. Japanese right now are fucking just dominating it, and Japanese people surf too. Great as fucking Irigashi is, top surfer right now. A lot of great Japanese surfers. Yeah, New Zealand's on the bucket list too. I got to go to New Zealand and surf there as well. Africa, going to Ghana at some point. Been wanting to surf Ghana all my life. Angola is where my great grandfather comes from. He's an Angolan slave, so I might want to go to Angola and check it out. But I'll be happy just getting into Africa, going to Ghana, doing some surfing. Fucking stoked on that shit. It's fun being online people, but I'll tell you, the real world is a lot better. The real world is a lot more fun than like. I don't want to get back to posing, and I am talking about it, and it's okay to talk about it. And I may not post, not see these photos and shit like that, but I'm definitely that dude. I'm like, damn, I didn't know that motherfucker could do that shit. Does that say? Yeah, BJ Penn can surf. Holloway's not a good surfer, but his wife comes from a great surfing family. She had a chance of being a champion herself. She's like top-notch woman surfer for sure. Holloway's not that great, but he can. BJ Penn can surf too. I still think Rockhold might be better than them. Like, Rockhold has some skills, man. He can surf. Santa Cruz, baby, Santa Cruz. Yeah, I mean Santa Cruz, California. It like it's Surfing USA. That is the home of surfing in the United States is Santa Cruz. So when you're in Santa Cruz, man, the surf there is so good. It's cold water surf, but they got everything there, bro. Everything. Cobblestone breaks, beach breaks, fucking point breaks, steamer lane, beautiful. Insane surf there in Santa Cruz. Best surfing in America, period. Without a doubt. Best place to surf, period. They got cliffs all over the place where shit starts to break. They got the fucking barrels. They got giant waves over there. You know, just the best place to surf in America, without a doubt, without question, in my opinion. I spent a lot of time in Santa Cruz. You used to be able to just live in your car in Santa Cruz. Cops and people wouldn't fuck with you, and then they fucked it all up. They ended it. You know, the areas that were like the bad areas where you could hide in your car. What is this guy saying right here? Yeah, Francis should be talking to John Jones. But here's the thing: Francis burned that bridge. Dana, he crossed the boss, and Dana might let him back. Dana might let him back, but it's going to be low. It's going to be for less money than he offered him before. That's where you fuck up, guys. Don't oversell yourself in anything. When you approach your boss for that raise, you know, make certain that you've earned it and put it in a context where you're not like crossing the boss. Like you're letting them know that you're still a company person and that you're really about the interest of the company, not just yourself, and that you've proved something to them. So always lead with the thing that you have done well for the company and want to stay with the company, that you want the best for the company, and that the company has provided you with everything that you have and that you've enjoyed, and it's been fantastic. Always lead with that. Like if you go up to your boss, you're asking for a raise, don't be like, oh, I've done this and I've done that. You have to take the perspective of, you have enabled me to do these things, to learn this, to be this kind, have this level of production, to pick up this level of knowledge, to provide me the opportunity to feed my family and to do very well, right? Like you lead that way. Like I want to stay with this company. I'm just asking for more of you know, for the contribution and the effort that I'm putting in. I'm wanting a little more to provide, to better do more things, to grow and expand my skills, to better help you be more successful. You've helped me be successful. Help me get to the next echelon to help you to get to that next level of success, to be better prepared and better equipped to help you be successful. That's how you approach your boss. You don't do what Ngannou does. You don't do like, I'm this, I'm the best, you need me, because the UFC don't need them. They've proven it. It's not based on need. You don't want to prove that the company needs you. You want to prove, or at least explicate and demonstrate that the company is great, good with you, and that you're going to continue to do better for the company. And that's what you bring to the boss. You don't like strong arm the boss. You don't strong arm somebody for a raise, unless you got a competitor that says, "Hey, I already have this other. They're already offering me X amount of money. I want to stay here. I'll take less than what they're offering me because this is a better company. You provided me more of an opportunity. You have given me what I have now, and I don't want to leave this company because I like staying here at this company. I love this company. I'm doing great here, and I think we're going to do better in the future. They're offering me 65K. I'll take, I'm making 50 right now. I'll take 55, 58K. Give me 58K, and I want to stay here. I've done everything here. I want to stay here. I don't want to leave this company. That's how you approach it. No, but Ngannou bit the hand that fed him. So even with that argument with John Jones, Dana's been like, I don't need this guy. and it's not going to make any difference. Like Dana doesn't need that fight. Neither does John Jones. They're still going to make their money on ESPN, ABC, or pay per view. They're still making their money. They don't need any of these guys. Unfortunately, that's the way Dana's approach is. Even Connor. Connor's making money for the UFC, and he doesn't even fight. You know, when yeah, I mentioned it before. Anthony Smith needs to retire. He has great mic skills, a smart guy, intelligent, well spoken, good voice. Stick to that shit, man. You know, Kenny Florian knew right away. Look at Kenny Florian does battle bots. He commentates on other shit. Look at these fighters that at a certain point learn something. You know, he's good at the mic. He's got the mic skills. Go do that, man. You know, it's not worth it getting your fucking head beaten in for fucking 200K. It was a good payday for him. He got some money, but yeah, it wasn't brutal to watch. Like, how good is Johnny Walker? Like another guy that's like, we thought that he wasn't improving, but man, physically that guy is gifted. Like Brazilians, I don't know what's in the Akai. Maybe the way they train, the philosophy, the way they live in Brazil. Certain fighters, jiu-jitsu guys, and just people. Brazil prides themselves on their physical attributes, and one thing that most people don't realize is that Brazil has one of the most diverse cultural sets in the world. And they have Africans there, Latin Americans, Portuguese, Italians, Germans, Africans. The world is Japanese people, Chinese people. The world has come to Brazil because of the resources, super country wealth, rich in resources, oil, fucking palm, wood, farming, agriculture. Like they had slaves in fucking Brazil. Like Brazil had a ton of slavery. I think ended in Brazil way after us here in the United States. Like Brazil still had slavery. Like Brazil is a resource rich country. It's almost like Africa. I mean, Africa is yet to be tapped for MMA and for athletes and for people like that. Like they don't have I think they're behind Brazil, and Brazil is just behind the U.S., but not by much. Like their athletes have all the resources that we have here in the West, that we have here in the United States, to foster and grow great athletes. And look at Johnny Walker, bro. The guy was a male stripper. He didn't even start fighting. He's not a jiu-jitsu guy. He just is a physically gifted man, and is able to utilize it and translate it into fighting, and is doing really well at it. Smith's wrestling sucks. That's like other jiu-jitsu guys, and Smith too. Great jiu-jitsu practitioner. Got to learn wrestling. Crown Gracie, got to learn wrestling, bro. You know, you know, Damian Maya fucking like he stopped fucking doing a lot of jiu-jitsu and wrestled. And he still wasn't successful, but at least he put in the effort and the time to like start wrestling, like improve his wrestling in order for his jiu-jitsu to get better. Like look at the King right now came from wrestling, right? Gordon Ryan came from wrestling background, came from a wrestling base, and learned jiu-jitsu and is dominating everybody because he can wrestle. He dictates where and when the fight happens, right? He can take you down. He can pull guard. He can do anything he wants because he could get out of certain situations because his wrestling base is so good. He could scramble. He could take guys down. He could play the slow game. He could butt drag. Like Ryan in MMA would be very effective. Like don't doubt him. Because the advantage he has over Gracie and these other pure jiu-jitsu guys is he could wrestle. They're going down fast, huh? I think the broadleaf was already in the 9 club, and that's an easy Nine Club. So I already reviewed this cigar. You can look at some of the previous. Always encourage people to go back and watch some of my other videos if you're interested in cigars or beer. Like, please go back, watch, like, and subscribe. Happy that all of you guys are here. You guys are all about betters. You're also about better. And I'm going to keep the bout, even though I'm not gambling for the next couple months, at least until my vacation is over. Notice in the thing, it's about better, BETTER, about being better. It's not just about being a bettor with the OR, right? That's easy. You know, being about better is an easy thing. It's harder to be improving or being better at things. So all you guys are about better, right? Like, not just bettors or gamblers, or else you're just a gambler. It could be a decent life. You can make some good money. Joey's making good money on it. I was making good money on it too. But right now, guys, I'm on a big losing streak. The year is dismal. Dismal. I've lost more this year already, and we're just in May, than the past 2 years combined. Yeah, I can admit that, right? I got to take a break. I have no choice, right? The bank is gone. The extra money, I can't justify it anymore. We're taking a break, but we're still about better. We're still going to talk UFC. We'll still talk about particular bouts and fights and things like that. But I'm not gambling. So you guys could take that the way you want to, say, oh, whatever. But you know what? What you're missing is other guys have been doing that forever. They didn't gamble like I did. They're not telling you they've lost $3,000 or $4,000 in the past 5 months. Right? They're not going to admit that they've been losing. They're all winning. They're all winning. They're all winning. Yeah, right. I never lose. I win every event. Join my Discord. Liars. Or if they do, then maybe they do, but maybe they ain't betting like I do. Like, their bank isn't the same thing. Right, so I am taking a hiatus here on the gambling part until vacation's over. That's part of the training, or part of the coming up in 5 days. I got to focus on my vacation. I don't have the expendable money to gamble. I got to use some restraint. I got to reel that shit in. I don't have the excess income, the expendable income to be gambling. So that's it. I lost the expendable income last week. Lost over, that Bilal Muhammad, Gilbert Burns match. I lost a lot of money. What does it say here? Walker and Hill do a rematch? Yeah, let's do it. I think here's the thing, guys. Like, man, I don't know who manages these guys. I once thought I should get into management. Law degree for contract negotiations and management, so I could be like a manager for athletes and or like MMA athletes in specific. If I were Walker's manager, I'd be trying to get that Walker rematch as much. I'd be fighting hard. I'd be going hard to get that fucking rematch. That would be a good rematch. Hill's another guy, not as well-rounded. Great takedown defense, but no grappling whatsoever. And the Hill match, the rematch would be good because one guy's going to get finished. Or could. We'll see. I mean, like, it could be end up another boring match like Thiago and Walker. Right? Santos and Walker could end up being pretty, like, it could be Hill, and the rematch could be pretty boring, but he was stunned. It was fast. Yeah, I think that's a good matchup. If I were Walker's manager, I'd be trying to get that title shot. I don't want to fucking fight Jiri. I don't want to, fight some other person. I got to try to get you to the title. And like a union, here's the bad thing about the few managers that are out there, the two. There's Ali Al-Sleaze and the other guy, Albi, the other guys. that managed John Jones, and there's like Conor could get into the picture. Like, I think that somebody should, you know, well, Conor has his manager, but I would go to Conor. I'd be like, hey, I'm at SBG with your boy Conor. If I'm Walker, I go to Conor and I'd be like, you have Dana's ear. What do I got to do to help you? I'll give you a percentage of my purse to give me that championship fight. Even on top of what my manager gets, help us get that fight, and I'll pay you. That's what I would do if I'm Walker. I'd fucking talk to Conor and fucking say, Conor, get us that fight. I want to be on, and you be on the card with us. That's the way to do it. Get Conor on the card, maybe an England card with Conor, or an Ireland card. You fight in Ireland. Championship. That's the way to do it. I don't know what these guys are thinking. Again, I think most of these managers are yes men, or like unions. The two primary managers or agencies collude with the UFC. They have the UFC's best intentions and not the fighters' best intentions in the contract negotiations and these fight matchups. They are not your friend, including your own manager. He should have your interest, because if he gets you an easy fight, it's an easy payday and he gets his percentage. I'd go for these easy paydays all day if I were somebody's manager. I'd be like, no, we're not fighting that dude. Let's fight this guy, even though it's a bit risk to us, but we got him here. We're making the same money. We're not negotiating for more. You know, you're not making any more money by dodging certain people or, yeah. I just think that the management of a lot of these fighters is just like boxing. It's corrupt. You know, like, they do not want to damage the relationship they have with the UFC, so they do what the UFC tells them to do. Just like our unions, they do the same thing. They don't want to offend the employer, so they actually act in behalf of the employers rather than the employees. That's America. That's America right there. You know, you want to know who's fucking defending your, negotiating for you. That they're actually negotiating for your best interest, and they're not. They're negotiating for the interest of the UFC. No, I'm pro union. I'm very much pro union and pro fighter and pro worker. And that's why the unions and management and people don't want me. The UFC wouldn't want me. The UFC wouldn't allow me to negotiate because I have the best interest of my fighter at hand. So if I become an agent, if I were an agent, then they're not going to like me. They're like, no, we're not dealing with this guy. So they'll fucking excommunicate me, blackball me, because I'm going to act in the best interest of my client. And these guys have been corrupted into acting out for the best interest of the UFC. That's why the UFC is a monopoly. Right? Like Ngannou tried to state it, he got fucked himself, blackballed himself. Because Ngannou is right. He's trying to get his worth, but he overestimated his worth and didn't meet it in a compromising state. He didn't get to a point where you compromise and you're like, okay, well, we're going to meet here. Because he's not his best agent. He's not the best, even himself is not the best person to have the best skill set to understand both sides of the equation. right? Like who is it that's what are their skill set? They have the relationship, so they have the network, but do they have the skill set, right? And if they do have both, what is their objective, right? Like they're thinking long term. They're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking Ngannou because I'm still gonna be in the good favors of the UFC, so I'm not gonna negotiate the way I can because I need that relationship with the UFC. That is more important than my relationship with Ngannou, right? Oh, what's real news? You're right about something. I don't know what Real News said. Anthony Pettis also wants to move to heavy. Anthony Pettis. Yeah, like here's something simple, guys. Like I could. Here's my example. I'm good with tools in my hands, right? Like I could rebuild this deck that I'm on. And in fact, I did. I rebuilt it, refinished it, did all that shit. I could do that stuff, right? I'm good at it. I could do it. I do it myself. I won't pay anybody else. I could do it myself. I'm bad with doors. I could do doors, but I'm gonna hire somebody else to do the doors, right? I'm decent with the windows. I could probably install these windows, but I'm not the best. I could get to a point where I'm gonna need somebody else. I'm not good at capping the windows. You see that this part, white part here, this aluminum, that's called a cap. I can't do that. So once I put in the window, I'm gonna have to hire somebody else to cap it for me, and I already know that, right? I'm not gonna try to learn on the job to try to do that. I'm gonna hire somebody else to do that, and I think that that's a big problem in life and in MMA, that people aren't willing to defer to people that are better than them. Yeah, you might be able to construct something, you might be able to do the door, but you're not that good at it. Hire the guy that's better than you at doing things, right? I'm not a contract negotiator. I'm decent. I've done contract negotiation. I'm decent at it, but guess what? I'm going to hire somebody better than me, take my cut of my commission, my cut. If I'm making 10 points, guess what? I'm going to give 4 points or 6 points to the other guy and just grab my little profit. Like people don't realize that. Like in the watch industry, the watch black market, gray market, it teaches you that. Like you might, like if you have a Rolex, say this was a Rolex and you paid 13,000 for it. You might have to, and you're in an interest. You paid 13 to try to get 15 out of it. You might just have to sell it for 1350, or 13,500. You might have to just make $500 off of it and just let it be. Even though you wanted the $2,000, you might just have to make the 500, right? And share that profit with somebody, to make your money, right? Like, and it's that in a lot of things. Like I might be better at the verbal negotiations with Dana, saying, hey, this is where we're at with our fighter. And then we get to a price. And then once the contract is there, because I'm not the best at contract law, I'm going to have another lawyer and pay them, because I'm not the guy that could review it, because I don't have that skill set. I got to share 2 points or whatever it is. I got to pay somebody else to look at the contract. Right? I negotiated a fee. I negotiated the amount. We got the negotiation point. That's what I'm best at. Now I need to have my guys fucking look at the contract that you sent me, and I have to pay them. Right? And that comes out of my pocket. That comes out of my commission, all the points that I get from Ngannou fighting his fight. Right? So Ngannou was like a guy that wanted to for sale by owner. He wanted to sell his property by owner, and he's not a good negotiator and doesn't know contracts. So what are you doing? You're losing. You're gonna fuck up because you didn't defer to people that have more skills than you. I'm not. What big problem with society nowadays is people are not willing to accept, especially men, that they're not good at something, that they're not capable of doing something. They can't admit it. They can't show that they view it as weakness. It's like, no. The pie is your pie. You got your slice, and you might have to slice that up a little bit. You got a little quarter slice. Guess what? You might have to give up an eighth of that slice to somebody else in order to be successful and to do best by your client and yourself. And that's what's happening in fighting. Is the lawyers, the contract negotiators, the managers, the trainers, everyone is wanting to keep their slice the same. They're not wanting to share. They want it to be as big a piece as it can be. And we all want that, but at a certain point, you got to think in volume. Like, it isn't just about this particular deal. I got other deals going on, and maybe I make more money there on that other deal, right? But if I don't have a skill to accomplish something, you got to pay out of pocket. No matter what you're doing, you got to pay somebody else to do it. Like, I'm good at roofing. I could put the roof on this garage behind you guys. I helped build it. I'm not good at siding. I can't do the siding. The siding, I've done siding before. I'm not good at it. I gotta pay some. I could build it. I could frame it up, put it all out, fucking put the drywall, frame it, insulation. Guess what? At that point, I gotta hire another guy to come in and do the siding for me. I'll do the roof myself. I'll do the shingles myself. I could do that. I've done it before. I could do that aspect of it, so I don't have to outsource that. The gutters, guess what? I can't. I don't know how to do the gutters. I do, but that's somebody else. I'm gonna have to pay somebody else to do the gutters. Like, that's part of doing business, guys. It's part of life. Accept what your limitations are in what you do. And the fighters, because they're fighters. Fighters have no limit mentality, and I appreciate that. I'm like that way with surfing. When I was surfing as good as I could surf, there was no limits. There was no wave too big. There was nothing too dangerous. No rock. I don't care about the rocks. There's a wave out there. I can surf that. There's no limit. I don't care how big the waves are. I'm out there. Right? Like, that's the attitude I had, and I had the skill set to do it. Right? And I like that attitude, but at a certain point, even now, like, because that's been a long time ago, I'm like, man, I can't do that anymore. That's above my head. I can't. That's out of my league right there. You know. When I went to Cabo with Joey, the day when the rough waves were a little big, rough, I didn't get a bearing of it. I got wiped out. I got wiped out. Like, I didn't even catch the wave. Like, the wave fucking, got caught inside, and waves were pounding me, and I was like, I gotta get out of here. I'm tired. I'm out of shape. I'm out of my league here. I gotta go. I gotta eat my humble pie and paddle my way in, just to make sure that I don't get hurt. Like, this is over. Like, it's done. It's a wrap. You know, after I got caught inside, I was like, oh, that's it. You know, I never used to accept that. You know, I'd be like, I would always go back out and paddle out, like, oh, I could do this. And I'm like, no. And it takes a while to understand that shit, but, like, I forgot, like, what movie was that? We got to understand our limitations. Man, no, that Clint Eastwood. Man's got to know his limitations. And I think fighting breeds a inflated sense of overconfidence, and that's what happened in Ngannou. An over sense of importance, an over sense of ability, an over sense of where he stood in the marketplace. And he's paying for it. He's suffering. He's not getting paid right now. I don't see him on TV on any ads. He was on Tayo Tires, right, when he was with the UFC. Right? He may have gotten Monster deal, or it would have been on Prime, right? Like, he'd be ideal with Prime right now with KSI and Jake Paul. They could have done business, but no, not now. He got shit. Overestimated himself in the marketplace and didn't have the skill set to execute anything or do what he needed to do. So we don't need to do that, guys. I mean, our shit here, guys, with us at the level we're at, we just got to make sure, like, don't get to where I'm at right now. I bet my bankroll away. The bankroll's gone, guys. There is, even if I wanted to gamble, I can't gamble. I don't have the bankroll, right? I got money places. Yes, I have money. I'm not taking it out to gamble. I'm not fucking taking money out of my credit cards or my 401k or my IRA, or I'm going to cash in my stocks that I do, my Robinhood stocks. I'm not cashing that in to fucking support my gambling. The gambling's done. For now, it's done. It's gonna happen again. But it's going to happen like once I get more overtime in, I have that expendable income. It's not right now. Maybe it doesn't come back. Maybe I don't gamble again. It doesn't hurt me because I already got hurt. I already got spanked, guys. I already hurt. I've already done damage to my life from it. I'm not going to do it. I shouldn't do it with the drinking and shit like that, but I'm definitely not doing it with the gambling because the gambling's easy to control. Just stay off the app, and if you ain't got the money to put in the fucking account, you can't do it anyways. And I can, but I'm not going to take money from other accounts to put into the gambling account. Ain't gonna happen. That's what's great about like fucking this electronic, the good and bad. Because I could easily put money in that account. Could easily sell some stocks, take money out of my 401ks, another 401k, take another loan out, and put that into DraftKings and start gambling again. But I'm not doing that. Right? It just isn't gonna happen. We're done. I'm still about better. I'm still gonna be gambling, but right now it's on a hiatus. We're on a little break. We're good. We'll still be able to smoke good cigars. We'll still be able to fucking drink beer, fucking hang out here, chat, stay in the sun, go surfing, traveling. The life is already like that element of that part of that life has already been impacted negatively, and it's not going any further, right? It's like that's it. Because it's all about quality of life always, guys. Even if you're poor, even if you're like me, I live a good quality of life. I live, even though I made only like less than 40K last year, and I could make a lot more. That was like last year. That's just based on like 8 months of income, and I've made six figures before and had great quality of life. I'm very good, not of managing my money always per se, but I'm good at like living a good quality of life with my money. Like I'm not trying to talk shit. I live good. Like with what I have, I can still make $30,000 and have a great quality of life. Like I can still smoke cigars, I can still travel, I can still go places and go to events, got concerts and things like that. I could still do that, right? Like, and that's because it's because I want to do those things. It's really just more of a willingness to step out, go out the door. That's all it really is. Just step out the door, tap it in, go on out, just open the door. That's all it takes. A lot of this shit could be for free. A lot of it could be you'd be freaked out. You know, you might just go to the lake, you're smoking a cigar, and some dude invites you. Hey, you got another cigar, and he invites you on his boat, and you're like, hey, we're about to take a trip. You want to come out with us? I've had that happen to me before. I smoked a cigar, looking at boats. And I was sitting over there in the lake, and one dude was like, hey, you got another stogie? I'm like, yeah, I got another stogie. He's like, you want to come out and let's go out and sail a little bit for a couple hours? Like, yeah, let's go. Free. Right? But that doesn't happen unless you step out of your norm, unless you go outside. Sure, my life could have been better, can be better. Quality of life, guys. That a lot of that is up to you. A lot of that is up to you. You don't always have to work and do your full 80 all the time and live that grind. The grind is determined by you. Take the time to enjoy yourself. Take time for you. Like on that day off today, I could have went and worked out. Yeah, sure, I could work out. This is what I like doing. I like drinking beer, smoking a cigar. I like doing this. Right? I could have went skating. I could have fucking went something else. I wanted to chill out. I will be skating again soon. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. Like the G the mattress guy used to say, don't sleep. Don't sleep on things, you know? Don't spend time sleeping too much. Right? And don't work too much. Take the day off. I'm going bowling later with the girl. We're going bowling, play some pinball. We're gonna chill. I still get to do that. We're fucking drinking beer, smoking cigar, doing bowling later. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see if she's up for it. Like, guys, it's not that hard. It's not that difficult. Man, that's a good ass cigar. The beers are going down. Ooh. I want to be here for a long time and a good time, fellas. Both. I want both. No one's in the chat. I got one person left. That's all right. It's all right, guys. Again, you guys are about better. It's fucking beautiful day out here. We're chilling, drinking beer, smoking a cigar. What's up, Rio? Man, fantastic cigar. The leatheriness, richness, just fire. Somebody wrote fire. Somebody made a comment. I couldn't even see it. It's nice being out here, watching the birds, listening to the cardinals chirp. It's nice, man. It's nice. It's summertime. Glad to be back at summer. Glad to be back, guys. It's nice to smoke outdoors. I have to fucking put cigars inside. You know? All right. The girl said that she's not making it. All right. So we're not bowling. No bowling. No bowling. That's all right. No bowling. It's okay. Very rich. Let the plane go by. Leatheriness. Strong oils now, guys. Very strong oils. Not your beginner cigar for sure. The double broadleaf. I think a lot of novices will think it's too strong, but it's not. It's not peppery. Modelo's go down good. Jungle. Love it. Love this cigar. Love this cigar. Why I won't give it a 10? I don't know. Did I give it a 10? It just isn't as it's not distinguished in a certain way. That doesn't have distinctive, I should say. Like there isn't a distinctive beginning, middle, and end, as I always talk about. The flavor set is there, but it's all like big. It's big, full, robust flavor, and sometimes I like a subtleness to it. A subtleness. I love the cigar, but it's not subtle. It has big flavors, big oils, richness, tons of earth, little hints of peat, great leathery latherness to it, rich oils, strong earth tones. Just a fabulous cigar. Cigars Daily, guy. If you want to have me put me on your live one day, chat with you or anybody else that smokes cigars that are interested in sharing a cigar with me and talking about a cigar, I'll go buy the cigar that you're smoking. We'll talk about it. I'd love to do something like that with somebody, or somebody in the watch world that wants to talk about watches. Happy to do that as well. Or if I have the time and the right context, the day or whatever, put me on your MMA stream. I still give good MMA picks, good MMA opinions, I think. Like we're not done with that. We're just done with the gambling for a little bit. Probably the only MMA capper that's saying, hey, I'm going to quit gambling for a bit. But that's not like... What's good about that is not being always transparent with people. Like, because most people that are MMA cappers don't gamble like us. They don't gamble like we do. They don't gamble like I do. They don't gamble. They lie. It's all smoke and mirrors, guy. Damn, look at how fast I finished that beer. Killing the game. Killing the game, guys. Well, there's nobody in the chat. I don't know what else there is to discuss. It's a beautiful summer day, guys. I'm glad that you guys were here for a little bit, whoever was there. I look forward to the next couple months training. I'm 53 years old, and you're going to see, man, maybe I'll do some TRT after a month. And I don't have to be ripped. I just have to, like I said, I just have to be capable enough to spend 8 hours a day in the water. I got to be water ready. Water ready. Not fight ready, water ready. Surf ready. That's all I need to be. Travel ready, surf ready. And it's going to happen. Watch. You'll see. You'll see. What did someone say there? Real News said something. Real News, I can't read it because I barely see shit. But man, Real News, I backed you, bro, on the Oilers. I got the Oilers all over my face. Oil all over my face. It sucks, bro. No Canadian team. How long has it been since a Canadian team has even been in the Stanley Cup Finals, bro? We should have known better than this. It's been a long time, hasn't it, Real News? Since a Canadian team has been in the finals. So I tailed you. I lost a little money here and there. It's just a dinner. I'm going to make it up. Like Brian and I, we're going to do the other thing about a friendly bet that is cool is I made a friendly bet for lunch. So when we're traveling, we go to Costa Rica or we go to Mexico, I pay for his lunch there, right? Not here in the States. I pay for his lunch when we go traveling. And that's going to be good because, I'll pick up the bill. I want to pick up the fucking bill anyways sometimes. You know what I mean? When I'm with people. I like that traveling. I think sometimes, that's another good thing when you're... What is this person saying here? Oh. can't see what you're putting there, brother, because it bleeds into the shirt. Like it says he likes something. Ah, yeah, but I backed Real News. You know, like I should have known better. Like if I had known that no Canadian team has been in the Stanley Cup Finals in what is it, like 20 years, I wouldn't have backed Oilers, even in a friendly bet. But it's okay. It's a friendly bet. I appreciate Brian willing to like. Okay, he's like, get me lunch or dinner when we go to Costa Rica or we go to Mexico, wherever we go. Get me lunch there. I appreciate that because we'll do that rather than here. It's the same money or better, whatever. But it's smart of him, so I dig that. I don't see that Real News. Boom. I can't read what he's saying. That sucks, Real News. But it's all good, brother. It's all good, man. Real News, I always appreciate you. I hope things are starting to change for you. Real News, I think you should join me coming up in 5 days in this sobriety slash or for whatever it is, whatever changes you need to make, right? Like you need to make some changes, like a job search. Don't worry about the woman thing. Join me in this like 2 months, like a they have Sobertober. We're not doing Sobertober. I don't know what to describe this, but 2 months where you make an effort to transform yourself differently, whether it's physically, emotionally, or all of the above, right? Like physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. 2 months. Give yourself 2 months, Real News. That's my encouragement. 2 months of where you make a change in your life. You do something different than you're not doing right now. If that's like going out, meet people, playing some hockey, riding the bike, fucking fishing, right? Making getting an artistic project, whether it's art or making some furniture or creating something, anything that you're not doing now that you want to do for the next 2 months, try and do it. That's what I'm going to say to you, Real News, right now. Is like join me on that little journey right there, guys. Like 2 months, 2 months, change your life in 2 months. Do something that's going to help you be better at what you want to do in your life in the next 2 months. Sacrifice 2 months or focus 2 months on making that happen every day. No more sodas, no more beer, no more bad food, no more fast foods, no more cheeseburgers. No more dating websites, no more fucking social media, right? Whatever it is, no more waking up at fucking noon. You don't have a job, go look for a job. Next 2 months, next month, every day, send out 10, 20, 10 resumes every day. Walk into a store, walk into a restaurant, say I want work. Walk into a factory, I'm here to work, right? You got a car, it's not running, fucking buy the parts yourself, fucking on the street. Jack that motherfucker up and start fixing that thing. Had a bike, rusty chains, needs new parts, fucking fix that shit up. 2 months, guys, 2 months for yourself. For the 2 months, just a little self improvement. Read a book. Even if it takes you 2 months. You haven't read a book in fucking 5 years, read a book. Grab a book that you're interested in. You got your camera, your phone camera. You've always thought of like wanting to be a photographer, wanted to take photos. Start taking photos of like fucking the goddamn birds over here. Take some photos that you've never taken before in a way. Whatever it is, take the time the next 2 months to try to make a difference for yourself, to transform yourself. Because that's what I'm going to do. Mine is just physical. I've been here, done that. I've already done it. So we're just going to do it again. It might be harder because I'm older now. It's going to not be easy. But the payoff is worth the juice is worth the squeeze, because when I get to Indonesia, when I land in Indonesia, I'm going to be ready. It's like surf ready. I'm going to be ready. You want to be fight ready. You want to be life ready. Give yourself 2 months. Do it in 60 days. Do it in 60 days. You can do it. You want to be more financially responsible or successful? Throw some money in even if you throw it in Robinhood, like your stock doesn't have to go up tremendously, but you put that money away and you could always take that money out, right? Even if you lost 1%, 2%, 3%, you will put that money away, and you still are not spending that money on bullshit. 2 months, guys. You'll see it next time. Next time you'll see me, I will definitely be like, you won't see this body fat, all this shit. The round face will be a little more sucked in, right? It's gonna be sucked in. It's gonna be what it is. Hopefully, I don't get hurt skating. I don't think I'll get hurt cycling, but I'll still skateboard because I got a skateboard, and I've lost a lot of my skill in skateboarding right now, and I regret it because I realized that like I had that talent and that skill, and have been like losing it because I had two bad knees. Knees have been better. Knee surgeries are done. It's been years. Just got to get out there and do it. And yeah, 2 months, guys. Well, if you made it this far, you are about better. No sense of, oh, there's a beautiful cardinal. Um, Not much to mention to you guys. I think this card, the next card, is like not great. Not. I'm happy to avoid it. So I'll be back the following week to discuss some potential bets. I'm not on Angel Hill. It doesn't matter because I'm not betting anything. I think it's a good card just to avoid. If you guys see some spots or something you guys recommend, put it in the comment section. Always like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate everybody that's made it this far. And you are about better. Thank you so much. See you guys again soon.